even if you come with the right information, you come with the evidence, this, that, and the third, there will always be somebody that tries to argue against it. So rather than trying to argue your point, let it go. And that's another reason why I just don't argue. Like, yeah, you may be right and I may be right, or I may be wrong, this, that, and the third. But if I wouldn't even say that. If you cannot pull back and let it go, even after I let it go, even after I admit when I'm wrong or I admit when I'm right, and you can't let it, matter of fact, hold on. No matter if I'm wrong or right, if you can't let it go, if you can't separate when I bring points and you still want to bring your point back out, then I can't hang around you. No matter if you're emotional or you're strong in the mind, no matter if you're strong in either one, if you can't let a situation go, then I really cannot hang around you. And that's a hard lesson I had to learn for myself, because I seen this firsthand. I told this man something, and I even showed him. He touched it, and he still had something to say even after he was leaving the kitchen, which showed me that no matter if you're right, because of their ego, they want to be right all the time. So I'm not saying that arguments, I wouldn't even say arguments, I wouldn't say disagreements are bad, because sometimes disagreements are warranted. But if you're not going to let it go because of your pride, because of your insecurities, and because you feel like you have to control, no, if you feel like you have to get your point across no matter what, and you feel like you have to keep talking, or you feel like you have to keep reacting, then stay away from me. Because whether or not I'm right or whether or not I'm wrong, as a matter of fact, no. If I'm right, admit it. And just leave it alone. Don't add nothing else back. If I'm wrong, leave it alone. And end it. Don't keep it going just because your pride is hurt. Leave it alone. And your soul will be spared. Because that's a hell that no one can get themselves. I wouldn't even say no one can get themselves out of. That's a hell that you choose to stay in. And I'm going to leave it at that. To the people with high egos and to the people who just want to control everything, just let it go. Just let it go, man. It's over. It's done with. What's been said has already been said, and yet you still want to bring up old points, or you still want to bring up something irrelevant, or you want to put your emotions on it, or you want to scream loud, or you want to do this, or you want to do that. Let it go. Especially if you are a grown freaking adult who I expect you would act way totally different in front of your whole children. But I see now, some people with those high egos just don't care. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care what your race is. If you feel like you still got to prove a point because you want to maintain control, or because you want to feel like you right all the time, or because you can't take no for an answer, you are going to stay in hell. That is your karma. That is your judgment. A hell that you put yourself into. Because now, even when you're right, you're still going to try and replay that moment over and over and over and over and over and over and over again in your head. And you want to know what's going to happen? That's right. You're going to be in an entire loop, trying to repeat the same cycle, saying, oh, I should have did this, or I should have did that, or you would have been feeling guilty, or you should have felt like you did more. Scratch that. You felt like you should have did more, this, that, and the third. Now, because of your own insecurities and because you can't heal, now you trapped yourself in hell. And I can't help you. I can try. But that work is on you. Not me. You. So you better pull your big girl, big boy pants up. I don't care who you are. You better pull them up and you better heal yourself. Because if you do not, your children will suffer this. This will be reflected to you when you get older, when you are unable to take care of yourself. Because those who are unhealed are unable to take care of themselves as they get older because of their dependency. So rather than you try to prove a point or try to make a statement or try to maintain freaking control, let it go. Let it go or stay in hell. The whole point of life is to let go and to not control things, yet you feel like you have to, you feel like you need to, just so that everything can be predictable. No, we live in an unpredictable world. This thing in your hand that you're watching me with, no one could have ever imagined this unless they were tapped in or unless they truly, and I do mean truly, unless they were open-minded, unless they let go and allowed their mind to have that imagination. That is what we have that you do not. We have the ability to be free because we haven't trapped ourselves, no matter how many times you make us feel or even attempt, because we come back to it no matter what. But y'all keep putting yourselves in y'all own hell. And because of that, we leave y'all alone while we keep on in our imagination. On with freaking God, getting these answers. Meanwhile, y'all still trapped in y'all freaking heads. I almost cussed. You know what? I'm grateful that I am making this video because this is a lesson I gotta tell myself. I gotta tell myself, let this go. If it ain't working, let it go. At this point, I think I did in certain instances, but there are just a few more kinks I gotta work out. But yeah, this is something I have to hear. This is something I need to hear too. But to finish this off, let it go. Once you do, you can finally flow. Everything will work right into your life. Not because you're controlling it, but because you're flowing with change. You're flowing with what you can't control, what you can't manage. Once you realize that, hold on. Matter of fact, once you realize you can't control it, and once you realize that you get more when you flow with it and don't fight it, that's when everything works right in your life. Because the only time that we would have to fight is if we are fighting to maintain our home. And even still, we can just move somewhere where we don't have to. Or if we just want to stay and fight, we can do that until we can run the mugs out, or until we can let them unalive each other to the point where our land are just protected. But yeah, quit your worrying. Quit your complaining. Quit all that talking, this, that, and the third, and just let it go. Let it fucking go. You're a grown-ass fucking adult. Let it go. Ashe, peace out, adios.